Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This first Saturday of December 2024, we are again meeting in the Hindu temple of Lemont. We'll be starting the Upadesa Sahasri. As usual, let us begin with this, the unique mantra of the Upadesa Sahasri. You can please repeat after me. Chaitanyam Sarvagam Sarvam Sarvabhuta Guhashayam Yat Sarva Vishaya Atitam Tashmai Sarvavide Namaha. I bow down to that all-knowing one, which is pure consciousness, which is all-pervading, which is all, and which is residing in the hearts of all, which is beyond all objects of knowledge. So this, in 2 lines, that gives the whole gist of the book that we are studying, Upadesa Sahasri. That this gives us a complete idea. The conception of God that we always think, the God means something which will be some there, we can go, we can talk, we can pray. Of course it is there. But in actual form, what is this? Everywhere the consciousness. This Hinduism, actual Hinduism, this gives the idea the consciousness is all pervasive, and naturally we too are that same consciousness. The Upadesha Sahasri of Adi Shankaracharya, it very boldly, it teaches us Ishitritvam Sata Siddhyam. This is the 11th chapter, the first verse. Ishitva. Ishitva means the divinity. And this Swata Siddham, this is naturally proved. And we are not divine. If that is so, then we will never be able to realize divinity. Suppose a human being, human child, can study the science or the maths or the many other subjects. But a dog cannot, but a cow cannot, a bird cannot. They may memorize 1 or 2 slokas, the bird sometimes. There will be that way. If you are going on teaching them, the dog may learn some other things, but studying the Upanishads, studying the scripture, and then understanding it, and assimilating that knowledge, transforming, then it is not possible. It is possible only for the human being. Why? The manifestation of the divinity is more in human being. Sata Siddha. Now to prove it, you need not to go anywhere. It is proved by that way. So this is the way they say it is Sata Siddha. What is that? Divinity. In that 11th it says that Ishitri Tvam Sata Siddham. Ishitva, Isha. Isha means God. So that God, my name, Ishatmananda. Isha means God, Atma the soul. When the God is the soul of one, he is in joy. So Ishatmananda. Isha means God. The Ishitritvam Satasiddham. For the human being, it is Satasiddha. For the others, they are also gods. They are also same, but the manifestation is less. That is why Shankaracharya mentioned, you see, the 3 things are really, really very important. And what? Manushyatva. First is the human birth. And after the human birth, a desire to get liberation. Now, hundreds of people, they go to temple, the churches and holy places. But they don't go for liberation. They have different agendas. They go there to get something, to pray something. But those who want to go out of the circle of birth and death in this life, they're a different category, different class. Religion, almost each and every one they are doing. They are practicing it. They think that they are practicing it. But sometimes they will be, in the name of religion, they will be doing very wrong thing. Why? They misunderstand religion. Of course, the way they learn it, the way they are taught, that also depends. So it is a lucky person who truly understand what is religion. So manushyatva, mumukshutva, mohapurusha samastraya, the third one is also very important because the mohapurusha samastraya, the company of a holy person, and that is very, very important. Unless and until you come in contact with that such holy person, you will never understand. So that is why it says, whether we like it or not, understand it or not, accept it or not, that you are God. And by nature, everything is nothing but pure consciousness. Why we don't feel that? Now, naturally, if we are pure consciousness, we are supposed to feel that, but we are not feeling that. The answer is ajnanat annata. This is because of ignorance. Why we don't feel that? Ajnana. We are, in reality, the gods or the Brahman. But we don't feel because we think otherwise. Now, sometimes the people, they see hallucination. The doctors, you must know, that hallucination. But if you go and tell him that this is an hallucination, he won't or she won't accept it. Under that influence, then the doctors will give the medicine and treatment. And after that only he or she will come out of that, though I was under that spell. This is called disease. We are also under that. All of us, we are actually in that disease. And bhavaroga vaidya. What is the bhavaroga? Bhava means this world, roga, the disease. What is that? We think this world is permanent. And to achieve the success in this world, we put our whole mind and soul. That is the problem that one should not do. Who will tell it? Who has gone out of it? Who has experienced it? And that is why this Vedanta is so important. Religion, we go to the temple, we pray to God, we offer some food, and then we take the prasad, we go back after praying to God, to some extent satisfied. That is good. In the beginning it is okay. But then ultimately you have to understand that this is nothing but the ajnana that we are thinking that we are bound. I am free. To whom I am going? I need not to go anywhere. This, they say, ajnanat. Due to ignorance, we experience differences. Now, you know that in the beginning of the Gospel of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is asking Master Mahashaya, the recorder of the conversation, Master Mahashaya himself has written, he is asking, is your wife Gyani? And naturally, Master Mahashaya thought, no, that cannot be. How that can be Gyani? Because it is not possible. She has not attended any school. So how can she be Gyani? And Gyani, Ajnani, these are the two terms. Gyani means a person who is the knowledgeable one, and another is ignorant. The Master Mahashaya told, in those days our ladies used not to go to school. She is good, but Ajnani. And the Sri Ramakrishna rebuked him. And you think you are Gyani? Master Mahashaya was MA. In those days, MA means only people used to go to school, and the first grade, class 4 if they passed, that was a great thing. Then class 10 means a very high education. But that, in those days, he was MA, and from Calcutta University, he was thinking, if I am not, then who? Sri Ramakrishna, who never attended any school, he is actually scolding a person from the university, and then he told, to know one is knowledge, to know many is ignorance. To know many is ignorance. To know many means when we see many. Now, some people, it is practically it is okay when we look at the different type of the lights. Some are yellow, some are white, some are long, some are round, and some are moving, the fans. All are different. Names and forms are different. That is practically it's okay. But an engineer, electrical engineer will say it is all same, because electricity is the same. Without the electricity, fan don't move, light don't burn, and the computer won't work, nothing will function. So electricity, that is way one. Same way, I am a male, you are female, they are these, they are that, animal, birds, all. Of course they are. But each and every one is having a soul, and that is the proof that we are one. What is that soul? Western philosophy, they think mind is the soul. That is a great mistake. Cannot be, because mind, we can observe the mind. We can understand the mind. Sometimes people who are suffering, then doctors can treat them. That means they can find out what is the problem. A psychiatric, they can treat the patient. They can understand what is the problem. If you can identify something which is there, then that is not permanent, and that is not eternal, and that is not all-pervasive. Now, obviously, then it cannot be God. It cannot be the soul. The Indian perspective, they say, no, mind is not. Beyond the mind, there is something which is activating, helping the mind to act. That is the self, that is the soul. So it's a avidya, opposite to the true knowledge. What is avidya? In the yoga, the aphorism, they say, avidya, asmita, raga, desha, avinivesha. These are the 5 obstacles to realize God. The first thing is avidya. We think that this is true, that is avidya, but it is not. They give the example. They suppose in the desert, you see in the distance the water, because you are thirsty, and you imagine that. You run to that place, then you find nothing. But you saw it. How it is possible? You projected that. You were dreaming, you were desiring, you projected that, so by that way. This world, we project actually. Whatever we like to see, we see in that way. At this moment, we may not understand, but that is the truth. So when we look at the foreign land, foreign people, foreign country, foreign this, foreign that, when you go and stay with them, they're just like us. All the households are just like us. Mother, father, and children, they are getting up in the morning, getting ready to go to school, to earn some money, then they will go out in the holidays. So just like us. What is the difference? Maybe language, maybe features, maybe a little bit of culture, that's all. Otherwise, they're all same. So why? Because we are all same. Because of the geographical differences, our culture and features are different, languages are different. So this way, if we understand, then comes jnana. Ultimately, it is all one. How it is one? You can understand that through 2 processes. One is Kriya Yoga, another is Vichara Yoga. Upadesa Sahasri, they teaches only Vichara Yoga. You have to discriminate and then proceed, understand. But there is another process is also there, Kriya Yoga. For the ordinary people, Kriya Yoga is really good. What is the Kriya Yoga? 3 things you have to practice. Tapasya, Swadhyaya, and Ishvara Panidan. There is an ashrama here called Kriya Yoga. What is that Kriya Yoga? These three things. They are supposed to practice that. We are Vedanta society. Ours is Vedanta and pure Vedanta that we follow. But they are not Vedanta society. They are Kriya Yoga ashrama. They practice, first is tapasya. What is tapasya? Kaika, vachika, manasika. It has been very clearly explained in the Bhagavad Gita. What is the kaika, physical austerity? What is the vachika, the word that we are telling? How we should be able to control over our words, and we should practice that. And manasika, our thoughts. So these are the three ways we function. We usually consider whatever that we do physically as a work. But what we think, we don't consider that as work. But that is the beginning of the work. We first think, then only we physically do. So we must be careful about the beginning, that where the thought is coming. And then Bachika we never consider. And that's why we go on talking and we create problem. We say something that hurts some people, and naturally he or she not happy because of that particular word that I uttered, and her reaction is coming back as a result, as a good or bad. So one must be very, very careful in the Bachika also. So three, that is called tapasya. One must be, or what is tapasya? Awareness. Physically, I am aware, I should not do this. Mentally, I am aware, I should not think in this way. And I am aware, I should not talk in this way so that they are hurt. So this is called tapasya. Another is swadhyaya. What is swadhyaya? Swadhyaya means listening from the guru, reading from the scripture, and practicing meditation japa. It's called swadhyaya. All these actions are called swadhyaya. And third, Ishvara Pranidhana. Constantly meditating on the divinity. And when you are constantly meditating on divinity, and your mind is withdrawing from the world and becoming that. So by this way, the union through action, with whom yoga means union. With what we are united? We are united with the Supreme Being. The Supreme Being, who is the God, who is also all-pervading, and that is called Vishnu. So by that way, through Kriya Yoga, we can reach there. Tapasya, Swadhyaya, and Ishvara Pranidhan. These are the three actions that can take us to this. And then another is, which we are studying now, called Vichara Yoga. And the Vichara Yoga means union through discrimination. And the discrimination, it says, I am the witness of all the mortifications of all minds. The minds changing. The morning he said, well, I will come and attend the program. And then, oh, I'm sorry, I cannot come, there's some problem. The mind, the thoughts are changing, decisions are changing. And sometimes I used to love some person, and then I don't like that person. So it goes on changing. But it's not eternal. The mind is always changing. So that, who is witnessing the change? There must be someone who is witnessing. So the discrimination say, anything you are observing the changes means there is an observer who is looking at. Chakshuscha chakshu, sotrascha sotra, manaso manoyat. So in the Upanishad, how they will explain? So they say there is another eye beyond the eye that sees, another ear that beyond the ear that hears, another mind at the back of the mind which thinks. Actually, that is consciousness. Now, if we, just as a scientist, if we see, I am passing through this road and I observe this house was white. And after some time, after say a month or so, when I am coming back, I observe, no, they have changed the color. It is no more white. They have changed the color outside. Who observed it? I. What I saw the color of the house. So I understand the color, I understand that, and I can recognize the changes. Now that is external thing, internally. Now I try to understand. Who saw it? I saw it. I, not the eye, my eyes, they saw. And can the eye see? No, there are many things are there. It actually connected with some consciousness. Suppose you are thinking deeply something else, but your eyes are open, you observe those things, but you don't recognize that, register that. It happens all the time. Many people they observe because you are thinking something, and that's why sometimes we dangerously in the red light we are also crossing. When the police come and say, "What happened to you?" "Oh, I didn't notice." But the red light was there. Why you didn't notice? My mind was not. Eyes were open. Not that I was sleeping. My eyes were open, but attention was not there. What is the attention? My mind was not attached with the eyes. Now, what is this mind again? This is the flow of thought. That means action. The way the flow of thought, who is controlling those flow of thought? Who is observing different thoughts? By this way, if we go, we can understand there is something which is really controlling everything. It must be consciousness. That consciousness is present. The Vedantin, they always say about the consciousness, and the consciousness, we have to understand it is present in every being. Where it is present, that is the question. Where it is. We know the mind, we can understand all these things, it is there, and about the mind also we can feel, so many things are there, and this is the reaction of the mind. Up to that we can go. But up beyond that we cannot. So that is called the tapasya, sadhana. We have to research on that only. So it says, Vichara Yoga, I am the witness of all modification of the mind. I am changeless by nature. I am changeless by nature. Sarvesham manasho vittam visheshana pashyata. In the third verse of the 11th chapter, it says, Sarvesham manaso vrittam. Manavritti of all people, all being, I can observe visheshana pashyata. I can see that in a very special way. And that means I am different from that. If I am that, I won't be able to observe. Now, those who are observing the football game, a soccer game, they can understand, oh, they should do this and they should do that. But the players who are there, they cannot. First, they are actually engaged in that and they are their positions, they cannot see what is happening. But as a witness, I can see the position of the opposition and position of my favorite player, and I can say, if he comes to this way, then he can do this. That means I should be separate, then only I can observe that. The something which is moving, something which is acting, if I am involved in that, I won't be able to take decision. I am in that. But as a witness, I can always observe. Now, they are showing sometimes in the TV, nowadays, the people have also become accustomed, the bomb, they are throwing the bomb, and a specific building is break. So they know. They came and then all they observe how the bomb came, how it fell, how it broke. We also saw, because of the movie camera, so we can saw that. Then one person, he was moving, and suddenly he saw something, immediately ran out of that, but another person it not that agility was not there and didn't observe. He fell into that. The accident happened. The building broke onto that, etc. So two things. Both the people were there in the same place. One could save himself, another could not. Why? Because first, they were not in the actually attached to that, but they were not alert. Someone was not that way alert, so got hurt. Another was alert and got freedom. What is necessary for us to get freedom from this attachment? Alertness. What is the alertness? Understanding. That I am observing, that means I am separate from that building. I go and see that building is white. Then next time I see the building is no more white. So I am not the building, I am not the color, I am separate from that. That is one thing. Second, I am clearly observing, understanding, so I am understanding. So many people they are passing. If you ask what is the color of that building, which building, I didn't notice, they will never notice. But they are regularly passing. That means it needs my attention. And thirdly, when I look to myself, my eye, my mind, that cannot notice. That means it is also changing. Something which is not changing is noticing. So it says, Sarvesham manusho vrittam visheshana pashyata. I can see the changes of the mind of different things, different beings or mind, people. That means tasya me nirvikarasya visheshasyat kathanchana. I am nirvikara. I am not attached to those actions. If you are attached with that, I gave the example of the football game. I am not attached in that, so I can, as a witness, I can see. Then I can see the changes of the color of the building. Everywhere, I am a witness. And I am alert about it. The two persons having one is saving, one is not. Alertness is there. So I am alert, and then I feel I am something different than my mind. Otherwise, how we will understand the consciousness? The consciousness is such a thing, it is there, but we are not aware of it. When we die, then only, oh, my consciousness. Otherwise, we are always attached with the body and other limbs which are associated with the body, and as a subtle thing, mind. Beyond that, we cannot think of. But the Vedanta takes you to that subtle condition where it says, in deep sleep, mind do not function. Who witnessed that? Mind is not functioning. Who witnessing that? This is the question. But after coming back, I report my mind was still. It was not seeing the dream, and that proves it was not functioning. Dream is the function of the mind. When the body is inactive, body is sleeping on the bed, I detach from the body and I start developing another world of my mind, and the mind dreams. We call it dream. You can give some other name. It's a dream. Actually, this Vedantins say this is also dream. But when I am sleeping, I go to that dream and I am creating. How I am creating? When the body is absent, I can see. When the body is not there, but body is perspiring. When you get up after seeing it horrible, the dream, you can feel that you have perspired. And see, this is called discrimination. Just like the scientist, you have to go on analyzing every step. And in that dream state, and that is a very, very important for the Vedantin, because by that way only we can prove the pramana or the existence of the consciousness. Now, this is the condition where body is not there, mind is functioning, and in that mind I can feel everything, and there is a time again when mind is also not functioning. How we know that? I was not dreaming. But who noticed that the mind was not functioning? I didn't sleep, I was sleeping and didn't see any dream. Who noticed it? Not the body, and mind also not. That proves the third. That third is the consciousness.
Something beyond the mind.
Something beyond the mind must be there. Otherwise, who observed it? Now, the proving the consciousness is this is the way. My body is absent because it is sleeping. My mind is absent because it is not dreaming. But the question is, who noticed that the mind is not dreaming? That means somewhere one camera was there, the mind is not functioning. That was recorded. What is that camera? Hidden camera. Consciousness. It must be. So this is the way they prove tasya me nirvikarasya viseshashat kanchana. In deep sleep, mind do not function, but who witnessed that? I. Hence, I am the pure consciousness. And it's a pure consciousness. Why pure consciousness? The consciousness associated with the body and mind, it is there. And that is the time I am functioning, working, thinking, all this. But there is a position where is nothing is there, called pure. The purity means there is no mixture, it is original. Impurity means there is a mixture. The mind is mixed with action and other thoughts. My mind is the consciousness, but that is not pure. When I don't see the dream even, that is a pure consciousness. And there I remain. Sapno satyo yatha bodhat dehatvam tataivacha. Now they conclude in this way. Now, how you know that the dream was not real? In the dream, you never thought in that way. In the dream, you were always thinking it is real. When the tiger was chasing you in the dream, you were running. You never thought, hey, this is a dream, why I am running? No, that was a completely reality. And you were running. And obviously, when you get up from that dream, then you come to conclusion, oh, it was a dream. Sapno satyo yatha bodhat dehatam tathaivacha. The deha, this Atman, and that is also in the, as long as we are in the body, we think that this is original, this is real. We are doing so many things. Pratyakshadi pramanatyam jagratsyadi atmana vedanat. This is the fifth verse. It says, as long as one is sleeping and dream remain true for that person. Only after waking up one can realize that it was a dream. Sapna Satya. Dream is true. How long? Till you wake up. So this is one, the example. Similarly, the authenticity of sense perception is in the waking state continue as long as there is no self-knowledge or Atma Vedanat. Atma Vedanat, unless and until we realize the Atman, this body and associated with the body, all the action, it is all real to us. Now, majority of the people won't believe that it is not real. Otherwise, the Russia and what's called? Ukraine, there so many people are dying and so much. The destructions of so much of properties in both sides, the human life also. Why? They think this is real. That is their property, this is my property, their land, my land. And that's by that way we are fighting. First World War, Second World War, and all through, everywhere, all life, we are only in this situation. From here, to go to that understanding that this is a dream, there is nothing is there, unnecessarily you are doing like this, it is not so easy. So they say that's why Dvaita Vada good. In the Dvaita Vada only, and in the seventh verse, they here that Shankaracharya is mentioning, you are practicing everything in the body, and at the same time you are declaring that you have realized Brahman. You are the most, not only the untruthful, but at the same time you are a sinner. You are committing sin. You are not doing the right thing. That's why this Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, and in the Bhagavad Gita also, this Advaita Jnana is not for everyone. It is better to hear and listen and understand that this is the truth, and they never go on any dictation. They're on vichara only. So this is really we can understand. But to practice Dvaitavada is good, because we are not ready. Everybody is coming and taking away all your properties, and you are sitting quietly, it doesn't belong to me. If they come and they beat you, you don't react. It doesn't belong to me. Body, it doesn't belong to me. Can you practice that? It is not so easy. But Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when he was meditating, then one person came and put a burning charcoal on his shoulder. And you can imagine, the moment it touches, the tremendous reaction. Sri Ramakrishna could not understand it. The charcoal, the burning charcoal burned that his body, and it was going down, and the smell of the burning of the flesh, that attracted other people. They came and said, oh my God. They immediately took it out, and then they nuts, ittadi. Sri Ramakrishna couldn't understand that. That body was not belonging to him at that time. So for him it is okay. And it is true. It is not that imagination, it is true. This body, this mind, actually is not true. So what is the truth? Truth is that consciousness. But this moment we are not ready to follow that. Understanding is okay. Unless and until Atma Vedana, the self-knowledge, we will never know that we are dreaming. This Jagrat, it is also a dream. What happens after self-knowledge? Now, in the wonderful way it mentions, Bhumavat Sarva Bhutastha Bhuta Doshai Vivarjitaha Sakshi. In the 11th chapter, 6th verse, it says, Vyomovat Sarva Bhutastha Bhuta Doshai Vivarjitaha. You remain as the witness in every being. But there, the qualities, the dosha, they're all limitations, that doesn't belong to you. You are just pure consciousness remaining in every being. How? Bhumabhat. As the space is there, sky is there, like that. The ether is there, like that you are remaining in every being. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he mentioned, so why I am quoting Sri Ramakrishna? Because in his life, all these experiences are there. That is the beauty in the yoga, tantra, Dvaita Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, all are present in his life. So he saw that I can see the mind of each and every one as I see the things in a glass cases. Through the glass we can see what is there inside the almirah. Similarly, he could see the mind of all people. How it is possible? It's not a miracle. This is that power of the Jnani. Whenever the Jnani sees, he can see everyone because he is present there. What that person is thinking, that is also his thought. that is so intensely they do. Ordinary people, they cannot survive after 21 days. They say after 21 days they die. Because the intensity of that, each and every mind, whatever they are doing, you can feel. One day Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was lying on the second floor of the house. Then someone was walking on a grass in the garden. And he shouted, "Please go and stop him. He's walking on my chest." Can you imagine? He was, by that time, he was the everywhere. So he failed. Sri Ramakrishna, he was sitting on the bank of the Ganga, and on the mid-Ganga there is on a boat, two fishermen, they were fighting. One gave a strong slap at the back of another, and that came on the body of Sri Ramakrishna. The people could notice the 5 fingers, red mark on his back. Can you imagine? And it happened. Then someone came and told, "Who did it?" No one touched me, but they were fighting. But this man couldn't understand that. When they were fighting, how you feel that? This is called the Bhumavat Sarva Bhuta Bhuta Doshai Vivarjita. But whatever they are doing, I am not responsible for that, but I am present in every being. And that is the reason they say, don't hurt others. Why this? Morality, the basis of morality is should not hurt others. The women and children should not be hurt because they are defenseless. So obviously, the God is more present to protect them. So whatever the atrocities that you are doing, it directly goes to God and it brings bad thing to you. So this is the way we are understanding Bhomavat Sarva Bhutastha. I am the witness, I am the Shakshi, I am the pure consciousness, Cheta, without qualities, Aguna. I am free from ignorance, Shuddha. I am Brahman, Brahmaiva Asmiti Kevalaha. So what happens after the self-knowledge? This. And the 11th chapter, 6th verse, I am present everywhere as a space, and I am the earth without its qualities. So I am the earth. In the earth, what we see in the earth? Everything. And that is why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna felt that somebody is walking on his chest when that man was walking on grass. He felt that. So that is the feeling. One day Swami Vivekananda was crying in the midnight. The people came running. What happened? Anything that what you know? Somewhere many people, they're crying. And that is coming to me. Next day they came to know somewhere in Turuska and there and devastated. It's an earthquake, many people passed away there. So that pain came to him. That proves the Brahma Jnanis, they feel the pain like this. So what happens after the Brahma Jnana? You become everything. Though you are everything, but dosha rahita, whatever the wrongdoers and wrong thing they do, they think, that you are not affected by that. So beautifully it mentioned, Bhomavat Sarva Bhutastha, I am present in every being like the sky, Bhuta Doshai Vivarjita, but I am free from all the defects of the beings. How I remain? Shakshi, I am the witness. I am the earth without its qualities. I remain in every being as the ether, Bhumavat. I am the witness, Shakshi. I am the pure consciousness, Cheta, without qualities, Aguna. What is Guna and Aguna? Satya, Rajatama. These are the 3 guna. So the Aguna. And free from ignorance. I am Shuddha, that's why I am the Brahman, Brahmaiva asmiti kevalam. What would be my identity after self-knowledge? Now, if I am like this, I am everywhere, what will be my identity then? This is a very good question. And it says that I am ever free and without name, form, and action. Without name, form, and action, I am ever free. Nama, Rupa, Kriya, Anya, Nitya Mukta, Sarupavan. My identity? Then he says, Aham Atma, I am the Self. Param Brahma, I am the Supreme Brahman. Chinmatra Aham, I am the pure consciousness. Sada Advaya, I am one, always without a second. Sada Advaya, Dvaya means double, Advaya is non-dual. So this is my identity. Ahamatma, Param Brahma, Chinmatraham, Sada Advaya. I am Self, I am the Supreme Brahman. Supreme Brahman. Then why the Supreme Brahman? Because there are two Brahmans are there. One, Brahman with qualities, which is functioning, we call it Ishvara or Bhagavan. And another, the pure one, which is beyond that, the supreme, the pure quality. I am the pure consciousness, and at the same time, I am always one without two. So this is the wonderful teaching, and this way the whole book continues. Now we should stop over here, and coming 2 months, as because our asrama will be closed and I won't be here, so maybe after the March, after February, from March onwards, we can continue our classes again.
Swamiji, I have a question.
Yes.
Swamiji, for the sadhaka, after hearing this, then it appears that our path is, sadhaka's path is through Dvaita to reach to the Advaita, because we are in the transactional, Vyavaharik world. So the point is that when human being is endowed with the faculty of vichara, and Shankaracharya's, we learn all these things, so we can go up to that level that intellectual understanding is there, as you explained just now. But the problem comes, dharana is not there. Like one can understand, but we cannot hold it too long. It comes to that intellectual level, and then, so the balancing between the transactional reality, like Vyavaharik, what we do, versus our glimpses of this high Advaitic reality. One understands, one wants to keep it there, but it doesn't stay there. It's kind, so that's a balancing between the two. That is sadhana, of course. So that is one point. And I was just trying to compare that on the computer, when we do whatever, then it goes back to the screensaver. So if I could keep my mind like a screensaver on the Atman and do other things, go back to that thing all the time, so that would be wonderful. And so my point was, dharana is not there. It doesn't stay.
Oh, hold on.
Just
holding
goes
on.
out. And probably because of the upadhis and
Yes.
I'm immersed into so much. So this is where our sadhana point of view difficulty and to progress, how to get out of it, etc.
So this is very clear. If you have to, you can practice. There were, in our order, there are Swamis. There were the Swamis. The Swami Vivekananda, the one disciple came to him, and he became the first president of the Advaita Asrama, and Swarupananda, and Swamiji, seeing him, told, we have an achievement, as because he was a pure Advaitin. That type of, but to practice pure Advaita, you must have to be a monk or a nun or a renouncer, because you are not active. If you are active, you cannot practice this. There is a constant bichara without doing anything physically. Then some of the Swamis we have seen, like Abhayananda Ji Maharaj, Bharat Maharaj, he was also there. He used to function his whatever responsibility, but not at all Dvaitavadin.
So Swamiji, my question was that this background helps a lot, but at the same time, if one can keep that in the background and how to, so I think, is that the answer, like saturate your life with divinity, divine things?
That's true, but the divinity with the help of duality.
Yeah, that's.
When we are in the samsara, because you have your swadharma, you cannot give up the swadharma, but you can make the progress with the duality. Now, here this Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, after reaching to God, if you want to have the Advaita knowledge, that also God can give you.
Vivekananda, isn't it?
It is possible. So if you say, God, I want to see you in Advaita form, where I can understand that the I and you are all same, that knowledge is also possible. But while you are in the samsara, practicing so many other things, one should not actually practice this. And that is the reason that sometimes after hearing this, if some people they think, oh, I can do this, no, that should not. So this we have to understand. Something, that's why before Vivekananda, this was not discussed in public. That's what they say, he brought that, the knowledge which was hidden in the forest, and to the people. The Vedanta he gave, but his Vedanta is different. As the Atma Sraddha. Because our Indian people, they lost their Atma Sraddha, so he brought back the self-respect. So that way he gave. And Sri Ramakrishna said, if you can see God by closing your eyes, why not with open eyes? So practical Vedanta. But this pure Advaitic Vedanta, like someone, he came and he was telling, then I follow the path of Raman Maharshi. I told, what do you do? No, I'm working here and follow the path of Raman Maharshi. That is wrong. If you are following the path of Ramana Maharshi, you have to leave everything and you have to go and practice like him. He used to go in a cave and lie down to see that the ants are coming and eating his flesh, biting his flesh, without murmuring. Can we practice that? We cannot. So this is for our knowledge, as the Dr. Pakane was mentioning. And then when we have given up everything, free from all duties, then you can practice it. Or otherwise, it is only for the monks who are completely free. In the Ramakrishna mission, Swami Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna didn't allow others to practice this, except Vivekananda. So we can understand how difficult it is. Otherwise, what will happen? We say something and do something, it will be hypocrisy. So when you say that I am practicing jnana, then you have to be completely free. And when you say, no, I am going towards the realization of the self through the path of duality, because this moment I have other things to do. So that is where we can go. Duality, non-duality, whatever. Reaching is the main. And after reaching, we see same. When someone reaches the top of the building, as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, by climbing through the steps or by an elevator, they reach to the top, they see the same thing. So,
my question is already some silly question, but I'll ask anyway. As we have been reading, the Atma, consciousness, and the body, they are two different things. Okay. The functioning of our body depends upon multiple organs function. Okay. When the body is functioning, does that function activate the consciousness, or the consciousness activate the body? Who does what?
without consciousness, the body can do nothing. Body is an inert mass. Because of the consciousness, whatever you think the body is functioning and the mind is thinking, it is possible only with the consciousness. The consciousness is present, so things are there. Suppose you have switched off the light, but does it mean the electricity gone away? It is there, only not connected. Similarly, the moment you are putting the switch, actually you are connecting the electricity, which is always present there. If the electricity is not present, switch won't work. The switch you are just putting on and you are just allowing the electricity to flow, then the body is functioning. The light is burning and everything is there. Similarly, without consciousness, we cannot think of anything in a mind, we cannot function anything through the body. So it is only consciousness. It is always present there. Always there.
So, what is the prerequisite? Is it the body or the consciousness?
The
When
body.
the body is functioning, then consciousness comes in.
See how it is. The mind is thinking, and then the body is functioning. How the mind is thinking? Because of the consciousness. That means consciousness is there. Without that, you cannot do anything. It's not question of prerequisite or anything, because consciousness must be there. Otherwise, mind cannot cognize, mind cannot think. And if the mind cannot think, body cannot do any action. When we do our body is functioning, hands goes over there, mind thinks, I should drink now. The moment it thinks, my hand goes and gets the cup. So by that way, and the action, it goes in such a fraction of a second, we can say that so fast. We think, oh, I am just putting the hand and it drinking. But the mind is thinking actually. And mind thinking because of the consciousness. A dead body will never function anyway. The mind of the dead body is not there. So the body is there, but not functioning. Why? Consciousnness is not there. That is the thing. So your question, whether the consciousness is first or the body, no, it is absurd. Always consciousness is there. Consciousness is always present. That is the only in the deep sleep that goes away and waits till you get up. Where it goes away, like the electric current, it is waiting till you put on the switch. Otherwise, it is always there. Electricity is always there. Similarly, it is there. But then the question, when they ask where consciousness goes to the original. It is remaining with this original thing. Then again you come, like you are switching. Getting up means it is already, you are thinking, I should get up. And when moment the thought comes, consciousness is already present. That is the way it goes. So let us say Shanti 3 times and conclude.
Swamiji, one thing. Swami Vivekananda, I think it was in Rajiv or Gyan Yoga book. So even in things which we think there is no consciousness, it is there, but it is not manifest.
Yes.
And he gives example of a glass. So glass we think there is no
Consciousness.
but why those particles are combined together, there is a power there, which is not manifested that glass can move because it does not have the instruments, but power is still there. You break the glass, there is a noise. Or small atom, how much power it is there. So it is not. So it is that consciousness is there everywhere, all the time. It is not manifested.
And there is the gradation of manifestation. This wood, this table, consciousness is there. In me, consciousness is there. What is the difference between that wood and my body and me? Manifestation. The gradation of manifestation. It is not manifested in that. The people, they think that killing an animal is so cruelty. But plucking the fruit also that same cruelty. The plant is also feeling that same pain, but it cannot express. Which the animal can express. and we can notice. And naturally, psychologically, we feel, this animal is suffering. The plant is also suffering.
Like fire in the wood,
Fire in the wood
Yeah.
because it's manifested later.
Yes.
It's in the dormant form.
Yes. The wood actually containing fire. But now, just we put it on and then it fires, burns. Like that. Okay then. Yeah. Any question is there? Oh, okay.
YouTube user KAI is asking, I find myself, they think that Swadharma is as a mother, a teacher, or a citizen. How should we define our Swadharma after we receive initiation?
No. Swadharma means the profession that you have accepted and you are practicing, that is your Swadharma. So, suppose as a mother, you have some responsibilities. But suppose you are mother, but you are a teacher. Your Swadharma is as a teacher. That is also you should do. You have to understand the responsibilities that you have accepted, that is your Swadharma. So, what is the responsibility you have accepted? As a teacher. So, you are committed to those classes, taking the exam and all that. That you must do, and for that, if you have to sacrifice something in your own household, you have to sacrifice that. So, that is called Swadharma. What about the initiation? Initiation is nothing but preparing your mind for the spiritual growth. And for that, you need not to give up your Swadharma. Hundreds of people, they are doing different type of job, they have taken initiation, and naturally it says that you just take the name of God in the morning or in the evening, and if not possible, then whenever you are free, that's all. At least in the Ramakrishna tradition, we always say that when you are free, take the name of God. That is called initiation. It is not hindering in your function. Some of the tradition, they may say that you stop eating this food, that may be different, but we never say that. We believe that it is the transformation of the mind, your thought. So, your question that what is my Sadharma, isn't that the Sadharma as a mother or as a teacher or after initiation, your Sadharma is as a Shikshak, as a teacher. So, keep that in mind and practice that. Thank you. So, let us say Shanti. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om